Hello everyone, my name is Nicolas Parpex and I am in charge of creative industries at Bpifrance, the French public investment bank. Emily and I are co-heading the French Touch strategic plan, which we're going to talk to you about for a few minutes. It's a great privilege to be here today with some stellar French Touch entrepreneurs that stand for the crème de la crème of the game-changing business models in the entertainment industry, sitting in front row and perhaps laughing behind their masks. They'll have the opportunity to pitch their companies in a few minutes. But first, Emily and I are going to tell you everything you always wanted to know about the French Touch plan. So, the idea is that Bpifrance, which is the French public investment bank, the French sovereign funds, what have you, we have decided that creative industries were not decidedly a strategic priority, a strategic area of focus. Why? For three main reasons. The first reason is that in France, creative industries amount for about 5% of GDP, so it's massive, okay? So that's one. Two, the creative industries are a powerful tool of soft power, okay? Our movies, our music, our fashion brands, when they expand internationally, they carry the values of France, and so it's also very important. And the last reason is that we believe, and then again, the companies that are going to be pitching for you in a few minutes will symbolize that. The French Touch and creative industries are a powerful lever of competitive advantage for France. We have great companies in these sectors. So that's the idea. Is it okay that the presentation doesn't work? I don't need it, it's okay. So the French Touch plan, it's about three pillars. The first pillar is we carry out a systemic and strategic plan, okay? The idea was to have a bit, we're a bottom-up kind of animal. We're really at ground level with companies and entrepreneurs, but we also try to have a bit of insight and a bit of vision about what the French Touch is. So the first idea is that the French Touch plan is a strategic plan. So that means that we have define a perimeter of the economic sectors that stand for the French Touch. So that's the film entertainment business, the gaming industry, music and live entertainment, but also the publishing industry and also fashion and creation industry. So that's what the French Touch is for us. The second pillar of the plan, and it's really the heart of it, because as much as we want to believe otherwise, we are a bank, I know. And it's also carrying out a continuum. What we try to, make a seamless and efficient continuum of financing, funding, investing and coaching French creative companies. So it's every financial tool, and Emily is going to go into more detail about it, but it's really about taking all the tools that we have in the toolbox and serving them in the most efficient way possible to your companies and to French creative companies. And the third pillar of the plan is that it's a sort of ecosystemic plan. So that means that what we do at Bpifrance, it doesn't stop at the bank's, boundaries. It goes beyond. It means that we have really close and preferred partners, such as the CNC, CNC, I don't know if it means anything, Ministry of Culture, the French state, in general, but also private banks, but also private investors, VCs, private equity firms. We're really here to be playing with everybody. We like to have a big team and lots of friends. So that's the general idea. Going back to the strategic aspect of things, we define 6 what we pompously call drivers of transformation. That's the transversal axis that we believe are important for every economic sector of the French Touch. I mean, it impacts the cinema and the film entertainment business, but also the fashion business, but also the gaming industry, and that's impact and CSR in general, of course, digital and technology as a whole, international, of course. We're going to put on a great show for you today because we're all French and we're all going to speak English, which is, of course, going to be very entertaining by itself. I've tried to set up the standard with my bad accent and awkward sentences, and more to follow. It's also about consolidation, feminization, of course. So that's the general strategic map. And in terms of what companies are we here to support, what companies are we here to fund? Well, the general answer is every company that has a very distinctive value play, and that's game changers. So it's a bit perhaps the umbrella that would define every company that is going to pitch in front of you today. It's the companies that have a value play that really brings something new to the game, be it in terms of technology, be it in terms of usage, be it in terms of business model, but also challengers. I mean, companies that have reached a certain amount of maturity but still have some upside to expand, and of course leaders, because leaders, as far as the French Touch is concerned, we can have leaders that have a strong position at domestic level, but are still challenger, or even small challengers at an international or global level. The biggest company in cinema in France is Pathé, and it's still pretty, it's not a dominant player compared to US studios, for instance. So that's the idea, and I'm going to let Emily tell you what all the fantastic beasts we have in our financial toolbox in every color: blue, white, red, and orange, because orange is the thing that really makes our eyes shine. Emily.
So as Nicolas said, the ambition is strong, and last year it was already 1,045,000,000 euros deployed by Bpifrance for La French Touch, thanks to its global continuum in all its business areas, from guarantee to innovation or financing, through support, international, etc., equity. So let's maybe go into details of these different pillars to tell you all the tools of the box. So the first main pillar is about financing, global financing. The goal here is to amplify financing of all CCIs. We first have innovation financing, since innovation is really at the heart of the touch plan. we aim at supporting the emergence of what we call the market changers, which are the new and innovative companies which are changing the future landscape of CCIs. So until now, we used to finance CCIs through technological innovation. Thanks to this new type of innovation created through this plan, we open the entire box of innovation financing to all the CCIs. At every step of the development, to be more concrete, for a producer using visual special effects used to be financed through this innovation financing, thanks to the strong technological barrier. But another producer using content like climate content or CSR content didn't have access until now to this innovation financing. So with this new innovation financing, we open the box, and now this producer can have access to the entire box. So for instance, he can finance expenses like acquisition of artistic rights or new IP development, etc.
It's a very, we're very proud of this one. It's a 0 to 1 thing, because then again, it allows early stage creative companies to have access to all these, financial tools with a creative differentiation, whereas in the old days you had to have a technology barrier, and now a creative barrier can do the job.
So every actors with a new value and differentiating proposition can have access to all these tools. For instance, for feasibility steps, it could be scholarships, for instance, and it's all the tools before the loans, so the classic loans. So it's, for instance, unsecured loans with different preferred rates or different period loans.
It's money on the softer side of things.
So this is really the new thing on innovation financing. So we finance CCIs through the technological innovation, but also with this new type of innovation. So this is for innovation. This is the new thing of the Touch plan. If you continue to the financing box, we have all the guarantees. So it's all the classic guarantees for bank loans. Concretely, we share the risk with the bank who provides the loan. So this is the classic guarantee, and the objective is to encourage a bank to finance all the small and medium business in every steps of their development. Last pillars, we have the classical financing. It's all the classic range of loans with or without guarantees on companies' assets for all type of business. Could be tools to finance, for instance, production capacity, or to help for external growth, etc.
And so this is carried out in cooperation with one of our main preferred partners, which is the IFSIC, which is a bank that is specialized in creative industries, and in which we have a pretty significant stake. Okay, so that was innovation and financing. This is equity investment. So this is my day job, because my co-heading with Emily the Touch plan is what I do in my spare time, but my day job is to manage the equity team that operates all equity investments of Bpifrance in the creative industries. The general idea is that we have a holistic approach that enables us to invest in companies at various different stages of development, from seed capital to IPO. And our play, because all these great entrepreneurs are going to pitch their companies in a few minutes, so we have to try and do the same. So the differentiation, our secret sauce is about three things. It's about being a sort of an expert in our businesses, because we've carried out dozens of investments in creative industries throughout the years, so we learned a few things. We try to bring what we then again very arrogantly call sophisticated capital. So that means it's just not money, but it's money that comes with a bit of brains and a bit of ideas and a bit of, you know, networks. And then again, all the interactions that we have with the ecosystem that can be of help to the companies that we invest in. This is a selection of companies that we invested in the entertainment business, in the cinema and film business. Federation Entertainment, which is a leading TV series studio that produces The Bureau, the French version of In Therapy, for instance. Tandem, which is a recently created theatrical distributor created by Mathieu Robinet, which was one of the leading sales guys at Back Film, the youngest distributor to be awarded the Palme d'Or, and Corentin Petit, who is the co-founder of Cézanne in the fashion industry, but also Brut, the social media. We've mentioned IFSIC, Playtime, which is a long-standing sales agent and co-producing company that has been showered in prestigious awards throughout the years. Gédéon, which is perhaps the one of the best documentary producers, iHeart, and upper high-end documentaries, and so on and so on. This is a selection of our portfolio companies that give you an idea what we are here to do when we invest in equity.
Until now, we represented the financial tools we have on the global famous Bpifrance continuum, but we also have the tool as pillars on non-financial actions. The first one, so it's as important as the first one, of course, and open to all actors of the ecosystem, even if they are customers or not. So this one is about support, and the objective is to provide to increase our support to all the CCIs through collective or individual actions. So we develop a complete tools of a complete range of tools. It's advisory mission, could be also training program, and the famous pillar of this of the support is our acceleration programs. Since we have around 40 programs, acceleration programs, led by Bpifrance, and it's around 1,500 companies that enjoy this program until now. For La French Touch, we have three dedicated programs. One of these three is dedicated to cinema and audiovisual. It was launched last spring in partnership with the CNC. So what is an accelerator? It's a 12 months program gathering around 20 to 30 companies, high potential companies, and build around three pillars. The first one is training, since it's thematic seminars dispensed in partnership with a prestigious school. Second pillars is about advice, recommendation, since when the different companies enter the program, they benefit from they have an individual diagnosis, and they are followed by an advisor during these 12 months to work on that on the growth level identified during this first analysis. And the third pillar is about networking, contacts, since a collective entrepreneur working together during 12 months, of course, at the end is a lot of collective action and ideas together.
entrepreneurs that are going to pitch their companies actually are part of the program, so they'll probably be able to testify in an even more relevant way that we can have.
So last pillar of the continuum is about international, and the objective here is to help companies going outside the borders with two main view. One is really for business, test a new market, test a new market, and the second one is more for inspiration or just discovery. So what is it concretely? Its mission with between 15, 20 companies following a program. During the program, they will discover new markets. They will meet prospects, or they will test new markets. To be really concrete, for instance, next September, 20 companies working in fashion, beauty, and decoration sectors will go in. Will test the American market thanks to Saks, the American department store. First, through the marketplace, they will sell their products through the marketplace, and then they will go into the department store. They will have a corner, and they can test physically the market. So it's just an example. We also plan to go to Dubai beginning of next year during the Universal Exposition, or as well to Japan during next year, more with an objective of discovery, inspiration, etc. Alongside this touch plan, which is more, let's say, focused on business, we have there is a willingness of giving birth to an entrepreneur movement called La French Touch, and symbolized by this emblematic orange cockerel. So this is a movement, a far-reaching and audacious movement aiming at triggering a new dynamic, and based on three main pillars. The first one is to have a collective of entrepreneurs representative of the sector diversity and cross-cutting. The second one is to have a common signature for international, and third one is to have concrete and actions to
embody what you try to do, and have events, international missions.
So this is, we have the business plan, business plan, and this movement around the orange cockerel, and the orange cockerel is to echo the blue cockerel that you maybe have the chance to meet for La French Fab, or the red cockerel as well.
So it's both business, and it's business, and it's a community, and it's a movement. So that's the idea. Thank you, Emily. Thank you for your attention. What we really wanted to convey is that even though I might have come across as the unfunny banker, the banker that tries to be funny and fails miserably, what we wanted to convey is that what we do, we believe is important. Then again, creative industries they're fun and they're inspiring, but they're also really important for the country, and that's why it's a real priority for us. So we're serious about it. We've tried to, come across the idea that we do a lot. 1.5 billion euros is a lot in financing. Every tool that we have in the box and every tool that we are creating in the future it's a lot. It's about business, but it's also about being, a tighter community, a community where people from the film and entertainment and the fashion industry talk to each other, do business together, go abroad together, more than they ever have. So that's really what we are trying to do with the French Touch. That's it. So now, of course, the best moment when a banker is speaking is when it stops. So that's what I'm going to do now, and let the real heroes of this adventure speak, which are entrepreneurs themselves, and they're going to pitch their outstanding companies. And first on stage, please welcome the outstanding game-changing company that is VOD Factory.
Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to begin. So I'm going to talk to you about VOD Factory. The presentation is over here. So as you have guessed, I guess we work in the VOD business. VOD Factory is a French independent company. We were created in 2013, and we are our expertise is creating, building, and distributing video streaming services. We do it. Sorry. Yes. Thank you. We do it for ourselves because, first of all, we are editors. It's in our DNA creating platforms, in-house themed platforms, but we do it for others also, and that's what we propose: a one-stop shop platform to monetize video online. So we address content owners from across industries and propose in our core activity one thing, which is a technical white label solution called Auto, which I'm about to present after. And we help these companies, these content owners, to distribute their offer thanks to our network. Around this core activity, because we are editor and we do it for ourselves, we can propose other additional services which helps make these offers a real success. So we can help in content acquisition. We have a team doing this. We can help in digital marketing from the creation of the graphic design charts, logos, everything to the real marketing, the communication, the where we help targeting the communities very specifically, very precisely in an affordable way, and that's one important thing we get specialized in. We can help in the video provisioning also. One of the main costs of VOD platform creation is the video confirmation, the old part before it go online, and it go through laboratories, and it's pretty expensive, and we can help companies to reduce that cost in video confirmation, audio, subtitles, edit, synchronize everything. So the main tool we propose, this back office called Auto, which is pretty intelligent, offers the most beautiful websites and apps. It sounds presumptuous, but it's pretty true. So it's a white label, it's a SaaS, software as a service solution, and it allows everyone to create a platform really easily without any technical skill. So that's the promise of the one-stop shop. You just have to choose your model, TVOD, SVOD, AVOD, call it, and others are coming, and you can create a platform really easily and really quickly in a few days, even hours, depending on the model. And because we are editor, we keep getting this platform better and better, and keep adding stuff on it, because we're doing for ourselves first, so we know how to improve it all the time. So it helps you upload and organize your content. It's a back office, but it's really intuitive. We spend a lot of time thinking how it should be presented to help anyone to understand it really intuitively without formation. It's really simple, really intuitive. it helps you, showcase you, identify by choosing among template, our template library. That's something really important. It's a SaaS system, a white label system, but it's generic, but still you can have multiple types of websites and apps, and you couldn't say one from another that it come from the same tool, because you can choose every template, you can custom it really precisely and do really different types of skin for your website and apps, and that's our promise. You can really have freedom for your platform. So it will help you to engage with your community, to follow your performance, of course, and manage your business. And it will help. Sorry, I can see what the next is. To reach your audience on the desktop, the apps, the TVs, because it's a multi-platform tool. Of course, you can.
Might I interrupt and ask you why Auto? Because it sounds like an Austin Powers villain name, but
it sounds Germanic. It's Auto because it's really reliable. Now, of course, it's Auto for. Yeah, he's German actually.
There goes the French Dutch dignity.
No, he's French. 100% French. No, Auto for OTT, of course. Over the top, because it's an over the top service with the websites, the apps, and the TV apps that we propose, and you can really animate with the same tool. It's a multiple. I was saying it's a multiple environment platform, back office. You can go to Android, iPhone, Android TV, Apple TV. When I was saying we can help distribute it because we are integrated with Orange Box, so you can go through the TV box to the leader French operator, and we can help with the technical integration into Amazon channels and Molotov TV and others.com. We are talking with obviously other operator and gaming console and others. Our clients that are happy with our services. The most recent one we did is Brut X that we talked about, that Bpifrance helped. Thank you. And we are happy to help them too. See, it was in April and the platform just launched, and it was a real success. And others, including ours, which I'm about to talk. We have several ones. The main one is Shadows. The main one, because this is the only one we did only by ourselves. We do create offers, but most of the time with partners, specialists, because we think when we address communities, we have to talk. We have to work with specialists, people who know the community really precisely. We can't lie to community which are passionate. And Shadows, this is the first one and the only one we did alone, because we thought maybe it's presumptuous, but that we were specialists. So it's a platform, SVOD platforms, focused on the genre movies. So horror, thriller, fantastic movies, and they are fantastic. So we launched it last year, 4 days before the French quarantine. So it was obviously just pure luck, but we were very successful. And now it's been a year, a little bit more than a year, and there's more than 350 movies, original movies that we present for the first time, that we're really proud of, and the platform's getting richer and richer, and the movies better and better. So we have big ambition on this offer, and I hope you'll talk about it more and more. The others offers that exist are Queer Screen, which we did in partnership with Optimal Distribution, which propose movies and TV shows for the gay community. And the other one, which is about to be launched in September, is the Pit platform made for metal music fans, music, hard rock, hell on demand, and we think it's going to be a thing. Others are coming, but well, you'll see, I hope.
God knows we've missed the Pit during the COVID.
Well, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You can stay on stage with us. And you're going to be joined. And you're going to be joined on stage by the amazing French Dutch company, but also a bit of a Chinese circus, because it's got so many business lines and so many projects, content-driven, tech-driven, consolidation, blockchain, everything and more. Please welcome on stage Logical Pictures.
That's going to be very, very hard after Nico. Very hard. I feel very lonely here. Well, thanks for all. It's good to be with you and find people back on stage. Well, thanks Nico for the invitation. So we are going to speak briefly about Logical Pictures and all the ventures that we are following in partnership with our partners. And first thing, I will just emphasize how strong I believe in your vision that everything is a continuum, and all these companies and these arts or creative industries are really responding one to the other, because unlike many of you people, I'm not coming from this industry. I didn't come from this industry, and I'm an entrepreneur. And the reason why I created Logical Pictures 4 years ago and developed it as a mini studio right now is truly because I believe that AI is going to directly or indirectly disrupt 80% of the jobs that we know and the industries that we know. But the only one that won't be touched by AI really is talent. Creative industries are really the key to me to one of the keys to the future. So we started up Logical Pictures 4 years ago as a boutique financing companies dedicated mostly on genre movie. I love it. We financed about 20 movies in 4 years, which did quite great. And then we expanded through the value chain. First of all, to understand more about distribution with the jokers, with minority stakes in the jokers. Then we started up our international sales company called Pulsar Content. As I discovered, and we discovered with the team, that there are a lack for technology in our business, in our industry, we started up Cascade 2 years ago, and for software solution, bringing applications, and Yannick will tell more about that. Well, sorry, I'm Frédéric, I'm the CEO of Logical Group, and Yannick is the general manager of Cascade. And our last company is called Loveboat, and it's a commercial production company that we started up in LA and in Paris 6 months ago, and with Nick Raffen, the famous movie and director and commercial director. The idea of that is to foster talent. The whole idea behind the group is to build a 360 continuum around talents, to be able to support them and to develop them through financing, production, co-production, distribution, sales, and in a 360 media environment, whether it is films, feature films, or TV series, or commercial or video clip or music, and we are really targeting this kind of talents. And by talents, I'm talking about directors, screenwriters mainly, and everyone who is around that. So, for example, producers. So we are trying to develop an innovative business model around very agile companies and on a network of an international scale. So we've done that with the support of strong partners like BPI, of course. We've been there since the beginning. Sensei also has helped us a lot through RIAM, which is also a partner program with BPI. IFSIC helped us launching all these companies, especially Pulsar and Cascade, by financing the very long development curve that is in front of us, and with the support of the media program. We are trying to build complementary skills and international deal flow. So right now the group is getting about more than 1,000 projects a year, and right now we are financing about 10 projects a year. And you will see that the objective is to shift gears and to start up a new fund which is more ambitious. So we are very happy to be in Cannes with the group that we generated, Logical and Pulsar, is bringing three movies to the market: Petrov's Flu, which is in competition, and The Innocents, and Olga, Satarga, and Semaine de la Critique. So the first use case I will just show you to illustrate the synergy of the group is what we are doing right now with our new fund. So we are launching, we have invested about 10 million in the last 3 years, and we are launching a new fund called Logical Content Ventures. It's more ambitious. We are planning to raise between 50 million and 100 million. And it's very interesting because I think it's the first evergreen fund in the industry, in our industry. And what is an evergreen fund? It's an investment fund which has no end, which is very important for us because all of us are in a business where we thrive on catalogs, we thrive on libraries that are industrial, that are here for a very long time. We own rights for perpetuity, so it's very important to be there for a very long time. It will be invested in what we call smart movies, maybe in genre movie, like the Deep House that was just released in France, prestige films, more audio-driven, TV series for 20%, and impact content. So this has been carried out with the support of BNP Paribas, that's the first time that a bank is following an investment fund at this stage, and with a specialty that to improve liquidity, this investment fund will be tokenized. So the shares of the fund and the convertible bonds that are linked with the shares will be distributed through what is called a security token, so registered on the blockchain to improve the liquidity options. Yannick, tell more about Cascade.
Yes. So we created Cascade first in order to face our own issue of revenue tracking and to get more accurate reportings. So we decided to begin to build Blockframes. That is a tool of revenue management that will be linked to the blockchain to automate revenues. It is a long-term thing to develop. And in the meantime, we develop an ecosystem of applications that each one answers to a specific issue of the market. So, for example, betrayed by technology. We launched our supermarket in the COVID period in order to enable sales agents and buyers to buy and sell film and to replicate the market experience, even if they were no real market anymore. So on our supermarket, you can screen movies, you can organize meetings, And you can present your lineup, so it's really like a physical market. There are already a great number of users. We have more than 1,300 buyers, including big ones like Amazon, Netflix, and so on. So it's a well-used platform. And we developed a sister app, Archipel Content, that is a marketplace to sell library titles through package deals. That is the originality of the platform. You can buy titles from different sales agents and doing only one offer that is either negotiated by our team or that will be soon automatically managed by the tool with an automatic contract. I missed the last, sorry, maybe it was on the slide before. One of our more recent initiative is the Nft Platform. So the idea is to tokenize some assets from movies. So it can be a movie scene, for example, a movie character, and the idea is to own it in a token on the blockchain. It's something really linked to what we call vanity, indeed, because it's just to be proud to say, well, I'm the owner of this character, of this moment of the movie. It's like when you buy a star, for example, if you know this type of things. And but well, it's done in art, it's done in sport, and it works well. And we think that there is really something to do in the movie industry and the audiovisual industry for that. We have interest from big players about that, and our MVP is almost ready. It will be launched in September, so I hope that you will hear about that soon. That's it for Cascade.
We're good.
Good.
Thank you very much to you both, and you'll be joined on stage by a company that sits comfortably at the crossroads of innovation and content, Originals Factory. Welcome.
Thank you. So it's quite funny because pitching Originals Factory in Cannes, in the art of the Cannes Festival and the iconic theatrical event of the year, you know. It's a bit, for us, it's a bit like screaming inside Notre Dame that we are atheists, you know, because our business model is not exactly this one. But you will understand that
where else would you scream that? It's the best place ever. So.
Yes. So it's a tricky subject to do it in such a short time. But I will speak about why the movie industry is quickly moving. The huge opportunity we all have in that context with original content and link, of course, to the streaming war by all the big actors, you know. Why it's strategic to move quickly in Europe compared to the advanced market in the US or UK. A few words about our lineup, and after 2 years of, because the company was launched 2 years earlier in Cannes, so I think we are the young company in the panel. What we target to do next. So, just to sum up this part, the movie started to change in the US like 5 or 6 years ago, moving to what is called a day-and-date business model, meaning that the historical business model with theatrical on video and pay TV and free TV switched for a large part of independent players and movie company in the US. With the rise of transactional VOD and then streaming, and it started by small players in the US like IFC, Magnolia, and so on, and then it becomes a real move on the market, pushed by players like Lionsgate, for example, but also newcomers like Vertical Entertainment, and meaning that within 5 years, and we can see it as buyers on the market, I would say that 2/3 of the new current movie coming from the independent market is switched to this business model. So that's the first period of the move. And then, of course, we have the huge worldwide impact of COVID, meaning that all theatrical around the world closed for sometimes more than a year. It moved the entire industry to another model, because it was not only the US independent market concern, but the whole industry, including studios. And in that context, Original Factory, we have music too. In that context, Original Factory just launched a few months earlier. Christophe Millet will say that it's a kind of luck. No, it's a kind of vista, because we need for an entrepreneur, to have this kind of context. And the move we had on the industry because of the pandemic was an amazing chance for us. The reason why we decided to move and to launch a movie company around premium digital rather than classic business model is clearly because consumers are changing. That was the case before, of course, before COVID, especially the audiences who are targeted, which are millennials and Gen Z. And because when you talk to a guy between, I would say, 12 to 25, he has a completely different world, as we know earlier. He's on YouTube, he's on Netflix, he's on Spotify. Streaming is his world. He's not looking for owning, but for access, And it's a very different world for that we have to address, and consumers are deeply changing. It's also, of course, the case of all the broadcasters, which became online. We all know the success, of course, of Netflix, but that's the same thing for Spotify on the music, or we have the same kind of situation in game videos. Everything is switched to online, to subscription business model or premium transactional business model. And that's the new context we are shaping what we are shaping the company. All this new world creates so a big move on all the movie company distributor, including now all the majors, and the majors are of course shaping the market because of their weight. Meaning that a few months and a few weeks, I would say even after the pandemic, all the big studios like Warner, Disney, and Universal and Paramount shift from theatrical classic business model to premium VOD, or even to premium streaming. They were also at the same time, for a big part of them, launching their own competitor to Netflix. So it means that, and it's our market now, we have an exploding market on original content. Original content is straight exclusive movies or TV series to digital. We all know, and we can all see in the press regularly, that the invest from Netflix, Amazon, and so on are rising at an awesome level. We all seen recently that people like, of course, Amazon Prime, they bought a major with MGM. They are going at the same time strongly into premium sports rights. And we can, of course, imagine that Netflix or Apple TV, with such switch from Amazon, will have some response. So we have an incredible context with the exploding needs for original content. And so our business model, inspired by what we look in the US with people I quote earlier, like Vertical, we have a first window of premium VOD, which is also called e-cinema in France. It's very close to the day and date in the US, meaning that 8 weeks is the choice to have the same kind of window we had on theatrical. Sometimes we try to do selective theatrical, but it's quite tricky for the French part because of the legal and the windowing. But there are some model on very specific projects. Then we are working with a streaming platform. Now also pay TV players, because they want to respond to the push of Netflix or Amazon. So we are working with streamings players like a pay TV partners, meaning that our business model is trying to keep the best of the previous world, doing multi-windows quickly, and targeting to have revenues on every medium, which is of course a key subject also for content owner and for producers. So our business statement today, it's quite like a classic movie distributor. We are now over than 10 movies per year after 2 years of launching, which is quite quick. We are targeting to be between this range of around up to 20. We are very focused on the kind of cinema we want to develop, because we are doing a business model very close and very hand in hand with partners like VOD platform and streamers, which means that, and we will see on the lineup, that we are focusing on sci-fi, action, thriller, rom-com, and some distinctive proposition. It's a very diminished risk business model, as we are very close to our distribution partner. We never bought a movie if we don't know how we are going to reach success on the project. It also implies a moving marketing on the subject, because all the targeted audience we are looking for, as we see earlier, they are all connected. We have to be close to the US release, for example, for US movies, because there is like a single now promotion around the movie, because all these young audience are on, of course, on social media and so on. So it's not exactly the classic marketing we do usually on theatrical. And the company is driven by initially by three co-founders, coming from the classic big industry. I was working for Canal Plus for many years, and TF1, but in both ends, doing the classic studio business, but also at that time launching VOD for Canal or for TF1. So you could say, when you see our business model, often people say, okay, but what's your position today or tomorrow with aggressive streamers? Do you have a place between producers and streamers? And the response is yes, and the answer is yes. Sorry, just because the initial business model from Netflix with producer was, okay, you have a budget around 10. I will pay you 12 or 13, but I keep all the rights, doing only my media. So meaning that you have the finance to produce your movie, but you don't have any revenues afterwards. You know, the purpose of Originals Factory is keeping the spirit of being a strong partner for producer. Working with streamers, but on selective windows, on premium windows like pay TV, but doing before that day-and-date business model or premium VOD, and then doing, of course, library revenues, working with free TV and so on. So we are like a classic theatrical distributor, but focus on premium digital. And for streaming platforms, it has also a meaning. Because they have a need of new current and new program for movies and TV series and so on. Each week's huge, and they are in a big fight now, because Of course, you have Netflix, Amazon, Disney+, Warner, and now Paramount coming, and so on. So it's an incredible competitive market, and the level of cinema we are on for people like Amazon, for example. What they bought is not only the access to movie, but the full package of marketing, trailer, localized in their market, especially when we do premium VOD e-cinema prior their window, because the movie is coming to their platform with a notoriety campaign, you know. So, concerning the first lineup,
you are perfect for this particular part.
If we have
After his death, Jamal became a hero.
Can you feel me?
I'm not your enemy, Dr. Clark.
I never said you were.
What is it with you and that man?
We're all gonna die.
Are we gonna die, Miss Caroline?
No, the zombies are not real.
What kind of a human being are you?
Dear Brittany. Dear Brittany.
Dear Brittany. That's 1.2 million a day. She sees the world in a completely different way from us.
We're about to have a pool party.
I am happy.
These are Jewish orphans.
Their parents were killed by Nazis.
You need to train them to survive.
Okay.
Ghost is real.
Something bad happened to her. We gotta go back. We gotta try to remember what happened to her that night. Whatever you do, just don't take it. It's not what we think it is.
Oh my God! I don't give a shit!
Oh! When you snatch him up, send me a fax.
Come on! It's not that hard to kill somebody!
Hey, that was some really strong demo reel that unfortunately reminds us that Britney Spears isn't real, but zombies are.
Yeah, but Britney Spears, it's a funny project for us because it's not a movie itself, no, it's a documentary. But the movie, the framing Britney Spears was on Hulu early February this year. And we saw the worldwide attraction around this program, and we made the deal with Red Arrow within like 2 or 3 days, and we managed to launch the project on the market, and it was our first step to European launching. We did in all French-speaking territories, meaning France, Belgium, and so on, and all German territories, the one left. So we managed to release the movie on 6 territories within 3 weeks. And it was a great success because we had that timing and because we are an independent and agile, we managed to do it in that timing. So you can see on this slide just the fact that when we release a movie and with all the promotion and social campaign, we have a very large distribution on the first premium VOD window. You can have the example there on the Dissident, the Brian Fogel documentary on movie documentary on Jamal Khashoggi murder. We are covering every big and small VOD platforms before switching then to streaming. Platform or pay TV platform. For example, Canal Plus now is very strong with My Canal, you know, and that's how we work. So coming next, and to close,
Yeah, because Chris, I'm sorry, I hate to be that guy, but we have to.
I know. I'm used to that, you know.
I'll let you get to the end of your presentation.
Okay, just in 1 minute. So we see where we are after just 2 years of launching. We have more than 20 movies now fully acquired. We have the first year really of releasing, and now we accelerate. The first full year this year will be a big move on the turnover for us. And what's coming next? We are going to, of course, to push and to be more aggressive on the lineup. We think there is a huge opportunity to move quickly from France to a European level, because the movie industry and the movie distributor in Europe are quite shy to switch to the US success business model. So we think that there is an opportunity to be quick on the market. And also because as we are working with streaming players, when we have accurate movies, if it's meaningful for the French platform, it could be also for the German platform, for the UK platform, and so on. That's how we do Britney Spears, with the discussion with that was at that time with Amazon, and the decision was taken within 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 hours. Sorry. Compared to the classic broadcaster, well, we have to wait for at least a month of discussion, you know. So clearly, the European extension is a key opportunity for us, and also, and that's why we are branded Originals Factory. We have the target in mind to do co-production on French local. It's obvious that it's a key point to develop the company. It's mostly a key needs from all the streaming platforms, and because we all know how it works on, especially on TV series at Netflix, and now we have there are big success on French cinema abroad with Netflix, and all the big players are looking for that, you know.
Thank you very much for this presentation. And you'll be joined on stage. I mean, what do you do when you can capitalize on long and deep track record of financing, sophisticated expertise, and also the market is changing, as all of you mentioned, and it's driven by tech? Well, you'll get to find out with Backup Media, which is going to present the movie chainer solution. Welcome on stage.
Hello, hello everyone. Wow, we're thrilled to be here. Thank you so much, Nicolas and Emily, for having us on board. I have to say the pressure's on our shoulders because we're coming right after Britney Spears, and we're going to talk about, I would say, dollar things. Just
the pressure is going to be on all of us when we finish off with the small choreography that we talked about.
I'm in. Britney Spears, I hope, again. Just a few words about the Backup Media Group. We've been around for the past 20 years, financing, co-producing, producing, distributing. I mean, trying it all. Roughly, if you stay in one place, you're dead in a couple of years. So just as part of our film team, I should mention that we have the Ari Folman, Where is Anne Frank screening tomorrow, which we're greatly proud of. But yes, as part of our evolution 6 years ago, we're at that time financing 60 to 70 films every year at all stages, from development to distribution. And I'm still with that Excel spreadsheet with 450 tabs, trying to remember what I wrote on every single one of them 6 months beforehand. And that's the inception of Movie Chainer. We thought, hey, why don't we create our own actually system to cater for our titles? And so we take it from there, and what does Movie Chainer do? Movie Chainer actually is a set of features that's here to help film professionals, whether they're producers, distributors, to do very basic thing that we need to do on an industrial level. So We're going to have, for example, acquisition people use our revenue modeling tools to see what the outcome of their negotiations is. We're going to have salespeople looking at availabilities, making sure that their titles are exploited well and smoothly without interruption. We're going to have the salespeople using classic sales tool. But at the end of the day, the bulk, I would say the core feature of Movie Chainer is what we have to do at least once or twice a year for every single film that we're taking care of. It's reporting, and that means we're all waiting for incoming statements and news from the people above us so that we can actually deliver statements to the people, the rights holders that we've actually contracted with. So that is exactly what Movie Chainer focuses on, i.e., checking that the reporting that you're having is correct, and making sure that you're delivering proper information to your rights holders. So we launched in 2016. It'd be a lie to say that it was an easy journey, because yes, when you're in the film business and you start having to become an agile company, you have to reinvent all of your processes, and that's what we've had to do over the past 5 years, and get people like product owners such as Sandrine, who's with me, developers, an entire crew that we weren't used to handling before that. So roughly today, the bulk of our clients are actually pretty eclectic client roster. They come from content producers, of course, agents, sales agents. We have a couple of studios also, and some public institutions as a recent addition to our client roster. So it's pretty eclectic client roster. What's important to notice is that we have over 40% of our client base which is outside of our domestic territory, which is consistent with our DNA at Backup for the past 20 years. I was going to talk about the size of the market, but I'm not sure that's completely appropriate in a Palais des Festivals that's not as busy as usual. So let's skip this one. What's important, and go back on our client base, is that they're all massive schizophrenics, meaning that none of them is doing one isolated trade. They're actually operating on the different hats. Whether it's acquisitions, co-productions, distribution, co-financing, name it. So roughly what we've had to do is make sure that for every single need or specification, we could actually have a set of features to cater for all the needs of a given client, and that they all came, without any parameters, that they all off the shelf, and that's what we're working on today. Because we're making compatible, actually, and trying to make compatible very different needs. Producers, they need project management system. They're taking care of several projects at the same time. It's a mess, and that's what we're being taken care of. Distributors, they need the full CRM, making sure that they're optimizing the assets that have been produced. Owners, well, they need owners, fund operators. They need to have a catalog view of what their asset is and make sure that they're able to monitor how what the performance of this catalog is. And last but not least, individuals and talents. Well, they simply need to know something about what's going on, which is right now far from being systematically the case. So that's what we've been up to with Movie Chainer. The next challenges for us is to revamp and come stronger with new commercial offers, so that people can cherry pick the features of Movie Chainer, and that's what we're working over the summer, and so that we can announce this in the fall. But we have bigger challenges also that we'd like to mention, and I leave the floor to Sandrine.
Thank you. As Tristan explained just before, we can say that the market is pretty global and dominated by a few big players that are either digital disruptors like the Netflix or Amazon, or traditional companies who have embraced the digital transformation like the US studios. On the other hand, you've got a large part at least of the industry players are SMEs, And they have not either begun and obviously not completed their digital transformation and lack usually expertise in all data management subjects. So in this context, the question is how these companies can leverage the data. And our answer to this is to say, well, we have to federate data and digital services in a global media data hub that will enable, consumers of data and producers of data to share it. So let's see how. Oh. Okay.
You're introducing suspense there. I can see.
Yeah, but I think it will be easier because it's just the setup is. Oh. Yep. Okay.
There it is.
There will be charts.
So you can see on the top of the slide what we call the endpoints, and it's the community of companies that are that we want to join the data hub. So it could be either customers like production or distribution companies, or what we call partners. So partners, we are talking about software companies who are already services provider for the customers, or all the institutionals, and it could be banks, private or public institutionals. Our assumption here is to say that all these entities can be potentially consumers and providers of data to the system. And so they will connect to the data vault through the management platform, which is quite important, but because it plays as a buffer for data coming in and out. So it's meant that it's just that exposing data through this platform can ensure that access to view or to modify data is limited and secure. So there will be specific protocols for each set of data, dealing with all issues regarding anonymization, aggregation, or cybersecurity protocols, and so on. So once you have gone through the management platform, data will be in the media data vault. So just to make a long story short, media data vault is sort of built through a databases modeling method that sort of is designed to provide long-term historical storage of data coming from very different and various operational systems. So also, it's designed to be resilient, especially to change in the business environment, so that if you want to implement a large set of data, so you want to scale out, basically, you don't have to revamp your data architecture. So the three key points about this data hub is first, it's cloud-based. It means that whether data comes from legacy softwares, on-premise systems, or SaaS. It will be stored on the cloud that offer flexibility and speed. Secondly, the hub will be a game changer for the consumers of data because it offers, fast up-to-date access to common set of data. And meaning that you can have users, reusing set of data and to have a sort of seamless collaboration among teams. And last but not least, it's easily scalable. It's sort of thanks to I don't want to be too technical, but it's just that what we say schemas-light approaches. It means that you can easily scale the system depending on the volume of data available. And for us, it's important because obviously we expect to have a system that can support the growth of the data hub as companies and partners join in. Next, and it's for me. Next, so we wanted to give you a few examples of user cases. Obviously, the potential is huge and depends on the number of companies and partners joining in. We wanted to single out Three areas where we believe that resources mutualization could be quite beneficial. And first of all is production planning. It's one of my darlings. It's just a, honestly, collaboration between all the creative or crew and studio executives of finances. It's quite informal still and very manual, very decentralized. So the Media Hub could offer data architecture used to sort of connect, the people and existing softwares and new services so that, all the information regarding creative, physical production and financial could be consolidated by project. And the second area is exploitation. Obviously, you can, if you share data and with a bit of intelligence, you can try to optimize pricing policy, asset performance monitoring, and also work on sales package for TV, for instance, with in-depth analysis of criteria for buyers and sellers to improve the relevance of the packages. And last but not least, it's about participants reporting. There is an ongoing discussions about the lack of transparency of the industry in France, but I think everywhere else. And the Data Hub could be the solution also to try to standardize and the information that could be available for participants, either commercial or financial.
Yep.
And to conclude,
we're thrilled actually that this Media Data Hub is a good way for actually our existing movie chainer business to grow. We're even more thrilled to have our friends from Monde here, the first audiovisual and film social network in which we've just acquired a strategic stake to be with us and test how we're going to be able to exchange data through the hub and optimize all those processes. But in the long run, of course, the whole point is that we have other services to come and join us to actually federate this. The whole system is collaborative, and that's the only way we see independence being in a position to access tools that are normally completely reserved by digital disruptors or big studios.
I think that's it.
I think that's
Together stronger, and 1 + 1 = 3.
That is why. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to you all for this very interesting presentation. So you've all mentioned that the market is a booming one. The market is a booming one, be it in terms of B2C with the subscription economy. You've all mentioned the hundreds of millions of subscription out there. It's a lot of money on one hand of the spectrum. B2B as well, because you have really powerful and strong players in the streaming services. And there are, then again, powerful, dominant players in terms of streaming, in terms of content producing. And yet, all of you French Touch game changers, what brings you together in all these presentations is how ambitious you are. And I think that's exactly what the French Touch is about. What I'm going away with all your presentation is three things. I'm sorry, I have a brain tumor that makes me summarize everything in 3 points. The first is talent. You've all mentioned how talent is the unsubstitutable value play out there, and it's so true. The second one is innovation. You've all embody to some extent how innovation is at the core of differentiation and value play, be it tech, data, blockchain, be it business model or windows such as you, Tristan, but content, of course, because there's innovation to be found in content as well. So talent, innovation, and what really is, I think it's stands out as well when you hear all of you is how important it is to have a really ecosystemic play. You've all mentioned how important not only of course the clients, but the partners. You know, there's this sort of spider web view of it's no longer a value chain where you go from one end of the spectrum to the other. It's more like a web where you create value by bringing companies together, adding value to one another, collaborating, and I think that's really what the French Touch is about. So then again, it was a privilege. Thank you very much for saying yes to this little invitation. We're gonna end with the choreography. You can either choose Britney Spears or Macarena, which I think we all remember. Even while very drunk, we can still do it. Unless the problem in the music isn't here, so maybe we can do without. But thank you very much for being here. It was really great having you on stage with all these wonderful companies that then again really embody what the French Touch is about. Thank you to you all.